Oh, yes, everybody. This is the Flex Network here again with one at roster. Excuse me. Just need to wake up this morning here.
Oh, my.
One with at RosterWatch. Give them a follow on the Twitter machine at RosterWatch. Joined as always by my comrades here. One at Sealy_Shane. What's going on?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
And one at Alan Seslowski with a new debuting background here. He's on
what
location.
Are you talking about? Yeah, I'm at the stadium. What are you talking about?
You're right. Yeah, what was I even thinking about here?
What game are you at there, Al?
Yeah, which game are you at here, Al?
This is the Jacksonville Jaguars at Tennessee, but I'm actually at the Jaguar Stadium with just the fans with the watching on the big screen.
Yes, watching on the big screen. Give us a follow at the Flex Network 1. This is your Week 12 start. It's Week 12, right?
Oh, it's Week 12, and it's exciting.
Man, it's buzzing by. The season always seems to buzz by. This year, I have noticed more than others that I am strapped. I am strapped with buys. I am strapped with casualties. I'm having to start this week a Hoist Freeman, which I don't love, but I have to start him this week. I'm toying between a Brandon Allen starting this week. Says who are you antagonizing over? You had said earlier you're not starting Aaron Rodgers this week almost.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a high, one of those leagues where I have high class problems. I mean, I'm in the same situation where I have a lot of those players you're talking about that, I always feel bad about my team until I look over my opponent and realize they're having all the same problems I have. But in my league, where you start two QBs, I have a really good trio and just don't know who to bench: Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, or Matt Ryan. So I have to sit one of those guys.
Yes, Shane, who are you antagonizing over?
Oh, God. So I was asking Al this before the air. I got a decision between J.D. McKissick and Peyton Barber for my RB2 position, and it's just disgusting.
Yes. We got some comments rolling in. B. Ollie, good morning.
What's up, brother?
Chuck Olson, good morning, fellows. Derek McGrath, como estan, bitches? PPR, and this is kind of funny. I'll start with this one. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Derek, B. Ollie, Chuck. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. As always, we love you guys. Isaac, missed you too. Thank you.
Love you, brother.
Isaac, our boy, missed us this Friday night for our Friday night Flex Finder podcast. Thank you. Yes. Funny enough, at work, everybody comes to me for their start sits during the week. And it was just the most hilarious thing. My guy plays in a standard league. Okay. Which, first of all, is just the worst kind of people, that play in standard leagues. But second of all,
they should be put to death. Yes, I agree.
Yes. Put to death. This guy, okay, and he comes up to me and he says, and just mind you, about 3 or 4 or 5 weeks ago, he also came up to me and of course, instead of asking how I felt about something, he decided to come up to me and tell me he traded away Robert Woods for LaShawn McCoy. He needed a running back, and I said, listen, what are you doing here? I go, gosh, come on here. Yeah, well, obviously that was a big dud. Robert Woods is a better standard receiver than he is in PPR, I think. Easy
Woods
touchdown. He's a good receiver. I like Robert Woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, LaShawn McCoy was a healthy scratch just a week ago.
Well, apparently it was for the workload management, though, right? They're trying to make for their playoff run.
Sully, what's up, man? John Sullivan says, what's up? Anyway, back to my question. Sorry, Derek. We're going to get there. Or back to my comment. But he comes up to me and he goes, oh, my gosh, there's somebody on waivers I need to pick up. His name is Guiche. And I go, you mean guys? You mean and I have never heard that.
You shouldn't make, but from now on, his name on this show from here on forward is Guiche.
Guiche. I said, I don't know who Guiche is, but it sounds like it's worth picking up.
That's the Italian player, the guy who had the ACL injury on the Redskins.
Yes.
The Italian guy.
first question here comes from our friend Derek McGrath. Geis or Samuel? I would assume this Curtis Samuel. Is it Debo? You know, that's a good question. Not Jalen Samuels. Yes, Jennifer.
Well,
good morning. Let's wait for him to say if it's Debo or if it's Curtis, because that will change it up. But Jennifer, good morning. Hopefully, you got a win last week. It's Jalen Samuels.
Yes.
Okay, that's
a lot.
Yeah.
I figured it was an RB question.
Yeah. Okay. So Shane, go ahead. Says
I was saying when you circle back after we tackle this question, I got one of the most interesting start sit questions. I think that from a different type of angle. So let's take care of this, and then this is a very unique question. So you would say what's unique? Let's tackle this first.
Well, let's say hello to C 943077 Deepinder Singh, Michael Yeager. What's up?
It's
John.
It's see ya.
Like
see ya.
See. Oh, see. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I see. It isn't. No, it isn't. No, it is not.
We're 6 minutes in and we're off the damn rails, people.
Oh, we're off the rails. John Austin, what's up? Thice Earnhardt Jr., what's up? Jalen Samuels and Guiche. Yes, that is his name. That's a good question, Shane. What do you think here? Jalen Samuels with James Conner out on the week. RosterWatch has that matchup going against what is that? Pittsburgh is playing Cincinnati, number 3 matchup overall, but only a 37.5 point over under. What do you got on Jalen Samuels this week?
This one's kind of tough. I mean, my heart's telling me Darius Geis. A lot of talk that AP is going to play after all, but Washington is going up against Detroit, which is just absolutely putrid against the run. RosterWatch has it as their number 4 run, but I thought I read somewhere that they're basically like the number 1 matchup for running backs. I actually don't worry about Adrian Peterson in this one. And then obviously on the other side with Jalen Samuels, Pittsburgh's going up against a smash play with Cincinnati, which RosterWatch has their number 3 matchup. A lot of talk about Benny Snell. A lot of talk about how it's going to be a Snell game. He might get the touchdown, which would be the vulture, obviously. And then also with the garbage time. So my heart is kind of telling me Darius Geis here. From a talent perspective, I like Jalen Samuels, but Darius Geis is just an absolute beast. Byron says it all the time that he was the best pure runner in that class. So if it's me and it's my team, good problem to have. I'm rolling with Guiche or what?
Guiche. Yes. Alan says, Lowski, do you like Guiche or Jalen Samuels this week?
Yeah, and I mean I agree with everything that Shane said, except his verdict. I mean, and the reason being, and the reason being is just the PPR upside, and I just think that Jalen Samuels every week you can lock him in for about 4 catches for 40 yards, so you're starting with like a baseline of 8 points, and then there's upside to be a number 1 overall running back. So just based on that alone, I'm going away from Geis. But yeah, my heart tells me Geis too. We're all invested in that guy doing well emotionally,
Now, was Jalen Samuels hurt last week, says? Only 34% of the snaps. Trey Edmonds sneaking in with 47% of the snaps.
Yeah. We've talked about Trey. Yeah, we've talked about Trey Edmonds a couple times on this podcast, and what's a really sneaky thing to do on the Sleeper app is Trey Edmonds at tight end. He qualifies at tight end, and he can get like a couple of carries too. So if you're really hurting at tight end, or if you're in a 2 tight end league, pick up Trey Edmonds and put him in the tight end spot. The same way
that this week though, right?
I mean, you could if you're desperate.
Why not?
Absolutely. Well, he's the number 3 in that offense right now.
But I'm saying like he can't get 4 carries for 8 yards, for like 10 yards, and then maybe a touchdown. I mean, is that any better than any of these other tight ends you're going to pull off the waiver wire?
That's true. That's true.
I'm just saying
the Matt, the RosterWatch DFS flex values based on Vegas props has Jalen Samuels projected to get 14.44 points in PPR. 35 reception yards, 73 rushing reception yards, 4 receptions. So, and then there's no line on Darius Geis. So, I mean, probably the safer play would be Jalen Samuels. I feel like, the safer play is probably Jalen Samuels. I feel like Darius Geis could just always put up a monster though. But I mean, yeah, in PPR, the safe play is probably Samuel. My heart tells me, or Samuels. My heart tells me Geis.
Butterfinger 87, John Austin, Sullivan, Tremel. Good morning, Cody Davis. Good morning, brothers out there. Team name and record if you got it. Okay, smoke them if you got them. Dean Tanner, what's up? We're gonna wait for Byron Lambert here from RosterWatch on Sirius XM. They just finished up their show. They will be over here in just a second. I know you guys are just chomping at the bit to talk to telemarketer Byron here on our Sunday morning shows. Will he come sweaty? Will he come to the podcast sweaty today? Over under of yes or no? I don't know.
Sweaty Greek.
So Shane, let's get to a couple.
Sweaty last time.
Yeah, he was sweaty. What was he doing?
What was that?
Yeah, I didn't know. Was he fixing his desk? I just wasn't sure here. Let's get to a couple questions from the website if you've got them pulled up. I don't want to answer these maniacal questions, but Jennifer said last week she was hit by Robert Woods, unexpectedly being out. Couldn't start anybody else. Cost her the loss, but she's still going strong with a big old flex emoji, of course. Yes, we do love that. That's K2OZ3FG2. Good morning. You will be the $1 million maker today. Yes, you
by the way,
will.
Just going back to what Jennifer said, a lot of people were in that Robert Woods situation. The answer code, the cheat code for that was most likely Taylor Gabriel was on your waiver wire in an area where I'm able to, because you have to drop somebody too. I wasn't going to drop Robert Woods, but in one league I was able to IR him and then put in Taylor Gabriel. And then I think I might have even had a droppable Bear. I think I even had Trubisky for some reason sitting on my bench.
You mean just the entire Bears offense? Just droppable?
Yeah. Well, not Allen Robinson, but yeah.
I'm also willing to admit where we might have been a little bit wrong last week. Kyle Allen threw up a big fat dud last week. I last minute swapped him with a Sam Darnold. Thankfully, still got the win. Sam Darnold threw for like 4 touchdowns last week and just obliterated the stat line last week. He's got a great schedule heading down the stretch here. Shane, question from the thank you everybody. I appreciate you saying that we break it down, man. We're here for you. Ask your questions, team name and record. Team name and record, Shane. Okay, question from the website here.
All right, so I have an interesting one here. Straight up, Jalen Samuels, another Jalen Samuels. A lot of Snell, a lot of Samuels questions, or Kareem Hunt.
Ooh, that's tough against Miami, says. What do you like? But they talked today on the Sirius XM show where it is a very special week where you might be able to start both Chubb and Hunt in your rosters on seasonal this week. What do you think?
Yeah, no, this running back relationship is somewhere between the Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams, and the Austin Eckler, Melvin Gordon. I think it's smack right in the middle. I think both of these guys are startable every week. In fact, in PPR, you could argue that Kareem Hunt's upside is almost higher. I mean, if Chubb is getting 0 catches, even when he gets you 95 yards, I mean, it's only 9.5 fantasy points. Whereas Kareem Hunt, I think he's averaging like double-digit targets over the last couple of weeks. I mean, that's like having a high-end number 2 receiver. And then if he gets a few of these carries too, Kareem Hunt has a much larger role than I even anticipated. I mean, I forgot how good he is, So
yes,
both of them are very startable, and you wouldn't even blink an eye at it.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt, 8 targets last week, 12 touches, 58 total yards on 55% snap share. And there was a couple goal line packages, where I thought that he was the sole target on a couple of those options. He is looking good. We should get a lot. I'm going to answer this one here. Javarius Fields just put one out here. I love this. Allen, I have no damn QB Robinson. Or Curtis, give me some more of the targets. Moore's getting Samuels. That one's going to be a good one. I do like Allen Robinson, even though with a crappy QB, DJ Moore is looking like the monster we all expected him to be. Only 1 touchdown on the year, though, which is where he is not getting a little bit more respected. Says, do you like Curtis Samuel or
Yeah,
Allen Robinson?
I was just going back to Allen Robinson for a second. It's like this guy can't catch a break. He's had only bad QBs. He's had Trubisky before this. He had Blake Bortles, and then even going back to college, he had Christian Hackenberg. It may be the only reason that Hackenberg was even drafted or looked good. I mean, Allen Robinson has a habit of making bad QBs look serviceable. Without Allen Robinson, Christian Hackenberg may not have even been a drafted NFL prospect. So kudos to him. That guy is a superstar. I would love to see him in a good offense. Imagine him with like an Aaron Rodgers or even someone even competent. I mean, it's that said,
it may never happen though. That's the problem, right?
He's still only 26, 27 years old. I think his money's only guaranteed for all of next year. So it could happen. And you know what? The Bears are going to have a good quarterback next year or a decent quarterback. They're not staying with Trubisky. I could see a situation where Andy Dalton or Ryan Tannehill is brought in over there. Something like that, where at least it'll be like competent play. So
Tannehill.
Yep.
Ryan Tannehill here going over
Tannehill.
Yes, Oz Pena just said he just logged in. Any talk on Zeke today? No talk yet. We're waiting for Byron, but we're just going to get into these questions here in just a second here. But yes, Zeke Elliott with a really tough matchup going against the Patriots.
Yeah,
today.
but you gotta play Zeke. I mean, if you have him, I mean, there's no backing away from that.
How come do you guys? Shane? What do you think about all of these pass catching running backs just being so worth everything, not only in fantasy but in real football, and Zeke can't get more than a couple targets or catches a game? What's up with that scheme over there in Dallas?
Well, look, it's all about who's around him, right? I mean, last year he got like 70 odd receptions, which wasn't expected because the narrative was always that Zeke Elliott was just a pound the ball kind of running back, and then last year he showed us that he could catch the ball. So coming into this year, do we really think that he was going to have such a strong supporting cast? Like, we knew that Amari Cooper was going to be there, but I don't know. At this point, it's like they don't need to throw the ball to him.
All right, guys, we're gonna get into these right here. So we have Jalen Samuels in the first questions. See ye, but Seth says it's see ya. Half point PPR. No, that's not how you say ya.
See ye.
Half point PPR, Ronald Jones, Jamal Williams, or Sterling Shepard in the flex. Has Brady, should he pick up Darnold or Jimmy G to play? Ronald Jones for me is the clear start here over those three in the flex. Yes, with a bad matchup this week, but the highest over-under on the week game slate is Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Atlanta the 15th, so middle of the pack running back matchup, but the worst against QBs, wide receivers, and the middle of the pack against tight ends. There's just going to be a lot of targets to go around. Shane, what do you think?
I agree. I think Ronald Jones is the option here. I mean, obviously Jamal Williams is generally a good play every single week, but this week you're going up against San Francisco. That worries me a lot. And then Sterling Shepard, I mean, what was it, week 5? He got peppered with targets, but it's his first week back, so we just don't know how productive that offense is going to be. They're going up against Chicago, which is not a great matchup, obviously. It's the 26th ranked matchup against wide receivers, so I'm rolling Ronald Jones here in what could be a shootout.
Says consensus on Ronald Jones?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not thrilled with Ronald Jones because he doesn't catch the football, and that, he's a benching risk at any point in this game. But the matchup is, theoretically was good up until 2 weeks ago. Now it doesn't look like it's good anymore. But
Atlanta's looking a little better, sneaky better.
Yeah, at least you can count on 10, 11 carries for Ronald Jones, whereas the other guys are literally it's a 0 floor. So not great options. But at this point of the season, we're just we're going week by week. We're going position by position just to get points. I mean, that's it. Points matter.
Now this week it matters, guys. These start sits matter for me. I if I don't win this week, I'm sick. I'm about 12 points underdog right now. If I don't get the win, I have McCaffrey and Kamara. I'm looking for 40-point weeks out of those. But if I don't get that guy, I'm out of the playoffs in one of my 8-team leagues. It's a tough week. But would you go Darnold over Brady this week? Says or Jimmy G?
Yeah, Jimmy G for sure. He's hot right now. I know Green Bay is a pretty formidable defense, but Brady this time of year generally can't be counted on. This is the time of year where they just start running the ball, and Mohamed Sanu's out. Edelman has not looked good. I know N'Keal Harry is probably their best option, but I don't think
Jacoby.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. You know what's funny? I don't want to tangent here, but all of their wide receivers are backup quarterbacks. I mean, Jacoby was a backup QB. Mohamed Sanu was a backup QB. It's like they collect wide receivers that could throw the football. But that said,
but you know why though? Like, do you want to know why that is, Al? It's because it's these smart wide receivers that understand like the nuance of the game, right? They would rather have a wide receiver that understands the nuance, so his head is strong, versus being one of these just elite athletic wide receiver guys that don't run the correct routes. Byron, what's up, dude?
What's up, guys? I got this fucking light behind me. Let me see if I can.
At least you're not sweaty, Byron.
Wow, was that
Byron,
sweaty last time?
Yes.
Oh my God, you were dripping, and we thought that you built a fence before you came in.
What, for the last broadcast?
Yeah.
Yes,
We'll pull clips. We'll pull
Byron,
pull some clips. I haven't watched it. Probably too much damn coffee in the morning, man.
Yes, Byron,
Are you in a different room, Byron?
Yeah, I'm in a different location. I'm trying to figure out.
You're good. It looks good.
Maybe I could just do this. I don't know. Is that too that light's killing us? Maybe I can just do like that.
Byron, you look great. Would you start Darnold or Jimmy G over Brady this week in a must-win week?
I'm starting Garoppolo over Brady, so I'd have to look at my rankings on where I have Darnold versus Garoppolo, but I certainly could consider that as well.
Garoppolo ranked 14. Darnold is your 12th ranked match.
Yeah, and I think I'm a little higher on Garoppolo maybe than 14. So yeah, 12, probably 12, 13, like low. Yeah, I'd start both those guys over Tom Brady.
All right, we have a ton of questions. That
definitely Garoppolo.
Definitely Garoppolo over Brady this week in a must-win. Dean Tanner, PPR flex, Sterling Shepard, D.D. Westbrook, or Corey Davis. Sterling Shepard back after a couple games here, but can you trust him, Byron?
No. No. Can you trust him more than the other guys is the question, though, right?
This is tough. This is filthy.
I mean, I kind of like the Titans wide receivers this week. I mean, obviously, Corey Davis is anything but a lock. Alex and I like Chris Conley. I know there's been this whole Foles Westbrook narrative. I'm probably going, dude, I think I'm playing Corey Davis or Sterling Shepard there.
Now, if Chris Conley was the selection over a D.D. Westbrook in these three, would you go Conley or would you still go Davis or Shepard?
Dude, I think I probably put in Corey Davis, man. Maybe Corey Davis.
Corey Davis, deep into seeing here, deep flex. He's got Snell, a very popular Laird this week here, Byron. Gordon, I want to say that's Josh Gordon, B. Hill, pick 2.
But Byron, can you talk about Laird a little bit? Do you guys see, like, when you get to him, just talk about, like, do you guys see him as actually, I've heard the term league winner even associated with him, which sounds crazy.
Hold on. Was that last question a PPR, the one about Shepard?
It was, yeah.
No Evan Ingram. I think in PPR, I'd actually go Sterling Shepard in that one. Okay, next. Snell, Patrick Laird, is that a guy we can get behind? I mean, I can't get behind anybody on the Dolphins situation right now. So I really can't. I don't even think it's worth spending much time thinking about. I mean, can't you get like a Deontay Johnson or somebody like that in your flex this week over,
is that Melvin Gordon?
No, it's got to be Josh
Gordon. Yeah, so if that's me, I would play Josh Gordon and Brian Hill.
There you go. Michael Yeager, that's Eagles fan. He is fired up this morning. Theis Earnhardt Jr., Catch TMC, Dede, Brandon Cooks, or Hollywood Brown, half-point PPR.
I want McLaurin.
Catch TMC here going up against this week the Detroit
You're not fucking Canadian, are you?
Welcome to the club, baby.
Yes,
it's become a thing on this podcast.
Byron, before you hopped on, I had told a story about this Jag at my work who always comes up to me asking me for fantasy football information, and he's playing in a standard league. First step, which was wrong, was playing in a standard league. Second step is he came over to me and asked me if he should pick up Darius Guiche this week. And I said, yes, that sounds like a guy you should pick up this week.
Tell
His Italian cousin.
I like Darius Geis. You know that. You guys know.
Yes.
I like him.
Cody
A lot.
Davis says Odell Beckham, Kenny Golladay, Marquise Brown, and Hunter Renfrow. Get to pick 3. Derek Carr's the QB.
Well, I'm liking Golladay more and more that I drill into that matchup. So obviously, Odell's a must start. So this is down to Hollywood Brown and Hunter Renfrow.
Alex loved Driscoll today
You
on,
know,
on the game day edition.
So pick 3. I like Golladay. I like Odell. If you like Driscoll and there's no Josh Norman, then you have to say you kind of like Golladay, I think. So Odell and Golladay. It's crazy to even could be contemplating Marquise Brown versus Hunter Renfrow. Marquise Brown gets Jalen Ramsey. That's not a great – I don't know how – that's a weird matchup for Jalen Ramsey to get a guy that small and fast like Hollywood Brown. I don't know how much he totally locks him down, but Renfrow is certainly like a viable – Hunter Renfrow is a bona fide, viable, low-end flex play at this point. I'm wondering, is this PPR? Do we have any idea?
Let's assume.
If Renfro's the option,
We
I
probably
would
assume
say.
it. Yeah, we got to assume that, I'm sure.
Byron, where were you guys? I forget on Renfrow coming into the process. Was his
Hard to be high on Hunter Renfrow, man.
Right.
I mean, his tape was good. He looked
yeah.
like a relatively. I'm pretty sure he was a Senior Bowl, relatively limited athletically, but a lot of it just ends up in the situation you're in.
I mean, he proved to be a big time guy catching that pass from Deshaun Watson in the championship game. I mean, that's why, I know sometimes that's just anecdotal, but I don't remember I usually remember all of your analysis, and I just don't remember where you were on him.
He was one of those guys that really seemed like a lot better college player than NFL prospect.
That makes sense.
For whatever reason, he's a good fit, and he was considered a good prospect. When you make it to the Senior Bowl, you're a good prospect. You know what I mean? So do you guys have a feeling on Brown versus Renfrow? I mean, do you just roll Hollywood Brown here and just say forget about it? Okay.
Correct. I mean, that's
okay.
He's a league winning type of
and this thing
player.
could still go to Waller or Tyrell or whoever the hell else it might be.
Yes.
So let's just roll out your stud. You get Odell Beckham, Kenny Golladay, and Marquise Brown in a nut cut time. You don't feel too bad about that.
I was just going to say,
plus he's got Carr. He's got Carr. So it's like if you put in Carr and Renfrow and they all shit the bed, that's a worse situation.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah. With my wide receiver 3 every week, I never play like a Cole Beasley type. I always want my wide receiver 3 to be the type of guy that could win the week for me. I'd rather get a 0.
Upside.
Yeah, I'd rather take a
0. I mean, you guys listen. I view my fantasy wide receivers as a group. I never look at them individually on my team. That's just I say like, how is that group look? Because they're not all going to hit, right? That's just the nature of wide receiver position.
Chuck Olson says Tyler Lockett good to go this week or Curtis Samuel.
That's easy, right?
That's easy. Tyler Lockett, yes.
Well,
Trimmel,
and what was it? Sorry, just a couple weeks ago, we were always talking about start your wide receivers against Philly, right? I mean, has that much changed? Like,
it's changed a good amount.
Lockett.
Yeah, we talked about that on the Sirius XM show today. I mean, Alex said he'd noticed something in the last few weeks, and he's kind of the purveyor of the matchup tool, so he sees the data behind that. And I was like, wait a second, man. I've been watching this slow creep for far more than a couple of weeks now. This has been going on for 4 or 5 weeks in Philadelphia, so tightening up against that pass. And for them to go from number 1 on the matchup tool to number 12 on the matchup tool, sometimes I wish there was a secondary indicator there that showed how much they've been moving up or down the tool, because they would give some context to the 12. Yeah, they're 12 on the season, but they've been probably to be 12 on the season after starting 1. They've probably been in the lower third, like a tougher third matchup at this point for that to be the and that tool is weighted towards recent performance to some extent, so that's still baked in. But so I would say.
Same with Atlanta, Byron. Atlanta's been creeping back to a better.
Great
What
point,
was it, Tyler Lockett? Yeah,
it was Lockett, Chris. I mean, the obvious answer. Right? We're not going to
Lockett's a wide receiver 1. I mean, right? I mean, or like, was he going to be 12 or 13 on the year when it all said and done?
Is there a cheesy pun we're missing here? Like, lock it up, Chuck Olson.
Lock it down, Chuck. Okay, geez. Trimmel Hawkins, Debo Samuel here, Josh Gordon, Golden Tate, or Alshon Jeffrey. 6 and 4.
Leaning towards out.
No, he's in, I think. Is he playing?
Like 20 minutes ago, they said now he's leaning towards out.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Get him out of here. Get Alshon out of here.
So we've got it between Debo, Josh Gordon, and Tate. I mean, it's between Tate and Debo Samuel.
I got to go Tate just because the injury concern on Debo, right? Come on. No? Against Green Bay?
Sounds like he's good to go. I mean, it's funny, too. Almost the exact same play. Like, Debo Samuel is like the new Golden Tate. It's hilarious to be deciding between those two. I might feel a little safer with Golden Tate than Debo Samuel, but that's an incredibly close call. Tramel Hawkins. Here, let's just pull it up for him. What's the game totals on those? Let's just see the matchups, man. All
right.
Yep. So we got New York.
I'll let you guys do that.
Right.
New York is a 40-point over/under against
Debo was looking
Chicago.
better earlier in the week. Now you got all those pass catchers coming back. That's the problem. Is that the targets?
I can get behind Tate if y'all want to just fast track this answer. All right, that's fine.
Yeah, just only because, like I said, with the tight end coming back, is Sanders playing? I think he's leaning towards playing. Mm-hmm. It's just Debo looked great on Monday, and it's not looking as good today on game day.
Sorry, I just got the pop up. Alshon Jeffrey officially inactive. So
okay, get Alshon out of here. Arthego Whiteside needs to get in the game here, guys. B. Ollie PPR needs to. Curtis Samuel, Robbie Anderson, Corey Davis, Tyler Boyd, D. Johnson, or James Washington.
Those are great options.
Tyler Boyd, man, just really stiffed it to you last week, didn't he? Asking for more targets. He wants
Tyler
it.
Boyd gives you the stiff job, man. That's no good.
Just a 1 point.
These are great options. And you know me, I mean, we'll see what happens down the stretch if there's any regression here. It could just be a situation of chemistry gone totally awry in the building and with the Jets. I'm still not totally out on Robbie Anderson if you absolutely have to play him during this stretch of matchups. I mean, the targets obviously haven't been there, and that was a one-off touchdown last week. But it's hard to prioritize him over these other dudes. So. Probably getting Curtis Samuel in. I think I'm getting Curtis Samuel in.
Who do you think is going to be the one? Is it going to be Deontay Johnson or James Washington with Juju out this week?
I think it's in a one-game sample. It's impossible to tell. And over the long run, if you ask me, I still would maybe give slight edge to Deontay being a little higher on the pecking order here. But in a one-week situation, it's impossible to differentiate. So I'm getting Curtis Samuel in.
Yes. Corey Davis would be the next highest on your rankings. You're 17 points higher than the expert consensus on Corey Davis this
Tyler
week.
Boyd, man. I wonder what
Robbie Anderson against Oakland. I mean, that's tempting, isn't it?
It's very tempting.
Tyler Boyd's prop is 11.65 points with a 4-catch 56.50 over/under.
And Robbie Anderson's been plummeting every week, though. I mean, they've been going short passing game.
I think especially there's when they're talking about a trade with the guy. I mean, something's gone a little awry with whatever the relationships are there, and that can actually be a problem on the field. I like the matchup for Robbie Anderson, but it just looks like you're hoping for a little. I don't want to say a miracle, but you're hoping for something unusual to happen there with Robbie Anderson to make it a good game. So I think we can just take him off the list, and then we've got it let's decide between Corey Davis and Tyler Boyd. I'd probably start Corey Davis over Tyler Boyd at this point. Would you guys? No?
Yes. That's tough. Yes. That's a tough. Let's go. Let's go with it. Corey Davis.
Boyd's been the squeaky wheel. We said that already.
I don't care about that, though. I mean, I want to know how much upside Tyler Boyd has.
He doesn't have it.
Not with Finley.
So... And then I say, do I want Corey Davis versus Robbie Anderson? I'd probably go Corey Davis. Do I want Corey Davis versus the Steelers guys? How do you even decide which Steelers guy to go with there? That feels like a game of roulette, right? And for some reason, I probably like a little James Washington a little more this week, who's been a little hotter lately with Mason Rudolph. So do I want Corey Davis or James Washington this week? That's a tough fucking question.
Don't you feel like this is all you pretty much roll the dice and there's as much of a chance that any one of these guys is going to outperform the other?
I like James Washington more than Corey Davis, man. Is that
what is
it sick that I trust James Washington more than Corey Davis? I know we got a big prop coming in on Vance. I trust James Washington more than Corey Davis.
All right, flexing. Let's do it.
Hey, can I give you one?
Curtis Samuel and James Washington. What's the matchup for James Washington? Is it a good matchup?
Yes, it's a top 10 matchup.
Against Cincy, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, dude, let's go with James Washington and Curtis Samuel.
Boom. Says go ahead.
Yeah, we got one over because you mentioned Vance McDonald a minute ago. I got a good one over from the Slack chat. It said Hollister versus Vance McDonald in PPR.
I think you play Vance McDonald, man. He's coming in big on the Vegas Flex tool. I mean, there's always a guy at the top of that thing. I mean, usually works out. So Hollister, I think if you have to play him, it feels fine. But don't you kind of want to see Hollister one more time here before you're totally sold that it's the Will Dissly? Or are you ready to rock and roll?
I mean, it's been twice with high level targets. So I mean, if without options, what's one more going to do? I mean, of course you want to see it, but sometimes Vance McDonald is a low floor. But with the Vegas
Gordon
prop
coming in there.
Yeah,
maybe Hollister. Tie yourself to the better quarterback. Then go with Hollister.
That's a good point right there. That's a good point.
All right,
Mason
our boy
Rudolph
Sully.
stinks.
Yeah,
he's bigger game total. Go with Hollister. I like that.
Okay.
This is Sully here coming in. Needs to Snell, Slayton, or AJ Brown. Wrong answers only, Byron.
I would play AJ Brown for sure.
Yep.
And then, I mean, I like Snell, but I don't see how you go there in PPR. So I'd roll out both wide receivers, Slayton and Brown. Slayton obviously feels like a thin play this week, but with all the good news, Evan Ingram not back though. So Evan Ingram is a guy who can take a lot of targets away. I mean, really Shepard takes this leaves Slayton is the only outside guy. I get behind Slayton and AJ Brown this week. Two young bucks. One of those guys could go big.
John Austin said he's loaded at wide receiver this week. Needs to start 3 of these guys: Godwin, Chark, Devontae Adams, or DJ Moore. That is a tougher question than you'd like to think, with 4 good options generally.
I mean, Adams and Godwin, you lock those two up, and then it's between Chark and DJ Moore. Generally speaking, I like DJ Chark more than DJ Moore, and we still haven't seen a lot of Nick Foles to establish exactly how we feel about that relationship right now. But Chark, like Phillip Lindsay, to me, those were the 2 guys that if I couldn't trade for one of the elite dudes down the stretch that I thought under the radar, really nice rest of the season. I think I trust Foles more than Kyle Allen. So I think I roll Godwin, Chark, and Adams, and that feels nasty.
That feels nasty.
Byron, just thinking ahead, where do you think DJ Chark gets drafted next year in season-long drafts?
3 or 4.
Yeah, probably like 4th round, right?
I bet you he gets
third?
pushed up. Yeah.
Third round? I mean, probably where Chris Godwin went this year was
that's
starting going 3rd round.
That's the exact player I was going to compliment as far as draft value.
Assuming Foles is still there, and I think people were just so sold on the Nick Foles, D.D. Westbrook narrative that I think we just would like to see what the real rapport is here down the stretch. What did Chark do last week? I'm just curious.
Oh, monster targets last week. I think
it killed it.
Double-digit targets.
Monster. That guy is a smooth
15 targets. 15 targets
and 2 touchdowns.
Touches,
oh my God,
104 yards.
That feels disgusting. Whatever trio of 3 amigos that guy's rolling out this week.
Yeah.
Butterfinger 87 says in a standard league, he needs a flex spot. Needs 2: Bo Scarborough, Scarborough or Bro?
Yes,
Scarborough. Oh, yeah. Marvin Jones, Catch TMC, or James White. Byron drinking out of the cup he received at Christmas last year.
You liked it with the B on it, man.
With the B on it, yes.
I didn't even. That wasn't even an intention.
Who got you that gift? Who got you that?
Pretty sure that's from my mom.
Ah.
Byron's mom.
Yeah.
Byron's mom's working hard, man, to try to take out Trash Man Truther, but they got a hell of a team. She keeps saying to me, why has it been so easy for him to win every week this season? It's just so, and I'm just like, man, sometimes he's got a great team, and sometimes the schedule just rolls that way. And I said, I literally think that every team in the league, when they see Byron's mom on the schedule, they pull out every fucking stop they've got. And every week you seem to play against like one of the high point scorers in the league. But I'll tell you what, Byron's mom's got a monster team, so I think Trash Man Truther needs to fucking hold on.
Okay, well, you need to just settle on down. Man. Settle on down here. I got Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook. It seems to come easy for me weekly sometimes, but here we go. Bo Scarborough, can you trust him this week in standard?
If you have to, I mean, trust is a strong word. Can you play him in standard? Yeah, you can. In it, 2, I'm probably playing Terry McLaurin, and I'm playing Terry McLaurin. And then
Okay, so that's the seems to be the lock for you. Every question that
and then
he's been in.
James White, who the hell knows? I started feeling when Alex started talking me up on Jeff Driscoll, and then you see the secondary of the Redskins is all banged up. You wonder if it's a Marvin Jones. Which Lion do you want? You want Bo Scarborough or you want Marvin Jones? Like I think you go with Marvin Jones, right?
I do.
So Starvin Marvin and Terry McLaurin.
There it is. Mike Yeager, Eagles fan. Again, wrong answers only here. McKissick is a running back / wide receiver on sleeper. I'm playing him at wide receiver because obviously buys in my crappy depth. Well, you suck at fantasy football. Anyway, next question. Derek McGrath. No one better than you
You
guys.
gotta be a paying subscriber to get in here and ask multiple questions, bumming around multiple questions on the free lives that start.
I see him with a scroll full of questions on Twitter too, so he's getting his money's worth, Brian.
Yeah.
Thank
Here
you,
we
Michael
go.
Yeager. Thank you, Michael.
Well,
Yeager.
his actual question was your opinion on flex needs a flex and a running back. Guiche, Jalen Samuels, Bo Scarborough, Jamison Crowder, and Calvin Ridley. I love Crowder. I just love Crowder.
Yeah, Crowder, but you got to also love Calvin Ridley. And then
I love them both.
It's very much could be. So it's between Geis, Crowder, Ridley, and Samuels. Those are the four. And what do we need? 2?
1 RB, 1 flex. So Geis or Samuels. That was a question we had earlier.
We've had that a bunch of times, actually. It's like the 4th time this has come up.
Boy, 2 golden sons, man. 2 golden sons.
Back in your rankings as well.
You guys have a feeling on that one?
I like Guiche.
We said before our heart tells us Guiche, but our
brain says Jalen.
And we cited the PPR floor.
Yeah.
Jalen Samuels has got dude, that's a sick matchup. And we're in love with speculating on Darius Geis this week, but Samuels is not a speculative play, and it's a solid one. So you play Jalen Samuels, and then we come to Ridley versus Geis versus Crowder, and you got to say that's between Ridley and Crowder, and that's a tough. I'd probably go Ridley, man. He's higher in our rankings.
Yep, and the over-under is much higher in that game.
Did you feel sick about getting Calvin Ridley? And if it doesn't work out, so be it, man. But he's got the Julio Jones type upside in any given week himself.
Go ahead here.
Yeah, the interesting one I saw on our Slack chat, Byron, was with Brandon Cooks coming off IR. This guy asked he has to drop a player. Could he drop for basically a season long? Has no keeper value. Patrick Laird or Brandon Cooks? Which one is the better bench stash for the playoffs?
I would hope that it's Brandon Cooks, man.
Right, but the reality is, even before the injury, he wasn't doing much.
I'd look at the schedules, but I'm pretty sure I'd keep Brandon Cooks. I would just look at the schedules, and I'd consider, do I need a running? Is this just a pure flex guy, or is it a possibility that I need a wide receiver later in this because I'm in there?
The question said it's purely for the flex. Who's the better player for the rest of the season?
Shane has a strong
We're talking about the 4th string running back on Miami.
Yeah,
Who's Brandon Cooks?
Brandon Cooks.
Come on.
Brandon Cooks is good. He's been hurt.
Yes, I want Brandon Cooks.
He wasn't hurt.
Offense.
He hasn't been
That's
good.
not a trash man wearing an Alan Seslowski mask, is it?
What is happening in the world right now? That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying is that the guy has 100% catch rate, 8 for 8. Patrick Laird over the last 2 weeks. The guy, it's all short passes. It's all dump offs.
See you later.
No, Shane is getting out
of here. All right,
guys,
I got 5 questions.
Okay,
let's wrap
it up.
Oh
Let's just hammer through them. Let's go, boys.
Okay, hold on here. Kittle, or should we flex over to Goddard?
I mean, I'm playing George Kittle if he's going.
Driscoll, Foles, or Tannehill?
Alex would tell you Driscoll.
Is that your cop out? Is that your cop out?
I think I would play. Oh, God, for me, it would be between Foles and Tannehill. I think you could argue for Tannehill at home, but I just like Nick Foles more as a player. I think I might play Nick Foles there. Was it a crappy matchup for quarterbacks? Let's see. It's not, is it? Nick Foles is
Jacksonville's 12.
Yeah, dude, I'd play Nick Foles.
Start 2, Ronald Jones, Brian Hill, Jamal Williams. That's the first 2 for me.
Yep.
I might give Ronald Jones another crack here. Jamal Williams sure has been good, hasn't he? That's a tough
Brian
matchup.
Hill or Jamal Williams?
Maybe we'll just go Brian Hill.
Okay, Michael Yeager, you're out of here. Get out of here. Chris I, in a play 'em once league, need 150 points this week. Second RB need 1. Coleman, Samuels, Guiche, or Montgomery. Wide receiver need 1. Tyrell or Crowder. Needs 30 between both.
I think it's between Coleman and Montgomery. That's a running back. And then wide receiver, I'd put in Crowder.
Okay, so I like Coleman this week, mainly because I have him. Yeah. I need him myself.
Yeah, but the boy, that sure has been. It appears to be a good spot.
Half point PPR.
It's very speculative. Is Samuels better here? I just don't see the upside. Maybe if these guys trying to. Is Tevin Coleman the safe play here?
He's a safe play. He can.
Yeah, but we need 30, Byron. I mean,
between both spots, I like Crowder and Tevin
So
Coleman
that's
this week.
true.
Yeah. Get them both in, man. Crowder,
Geis
Tevin
or
Coleman.
Mixon? Geis or Mixon, half point PPR.
Ugh.
I'd play Geis.
Guys, would you consider Tevin Coleman over Zeke at all?
No.
Need 2. Fitz, Darnold, or Tanny. I think. We almost answered that question, but Darnold for sure. So Tannehill or Fitz?
I would play Tannehill.
Let's see here.
You don't like that, Shane? Anyways,
no, Tannehill's fine.
I could see an argument for Fitz, but whatever. Tannehill and Darnold. I think those are solid plays.
Standard league: John Brown, Marvin Jones, or Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders is the chalk DFS play today too.
But there was news about the timeshare split with Jay Ajayi.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's Marvin Jones. I think I'm playing Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders, Jennifer, our lady of RosterWatch Nation here, half point PPR, starting Matt Ryan. What is that? That's what's his name? Yeah. Catch TMC, C-Mac, Derrick Henry, Jared Cook, and flexing Robert Woods. Only other player on my bench is Miles Sanders. Would you think to bench or put Miles Sanders in, basically? Bench Fuller over Woods for Thursday, so she might be down a little.
Bad move. I can tell you that right now. That was a bad move.
So we're wondering if we're going
to. I have the hindsight. Byron has foresight. I have hindsight.
So the question is, Miles Sanders, are we getting him in over Robert Woods? And I'd say the answer is absolutely yes.
Yes. Hey,
all right.
Noah Fant.
And by the way, Jennifer, you have a star-studded team.
Ridiculous.
Congratulations.
Ridiculous. She must be using the cheat sheet to draft.
She must be a member of RosterWatch Nation.
Yeah, it's very obvious. Those are all your players. Hey, Byron, Noah Fant in tight end premium or Terry McLaurin?
I'd play McLaurin.
Okay, Byron.
1.5?
Yeah, 1.5.
I'd play McLaurin.
So with these questions more, I think we can rattle through them if we get through them here. Jameis Winston or Allen? Okay, 3 more. Okay, I'll try to pick
Winston. Jameis
okay.
Winston.
1 point PPR needed running back and a flex. Mark Ingram, Jalen Samuels, Allen Robinson, Devontae Parker, Gallup, or Debo. 1 running back, 1 flex.
So Ingram versus Jalen Samuels in a PPR.
You gotta go Ingram, right?
Man, I think
against the Rams defense.
But it's Mark Ingram. I think you got to get Mark Ingram in there, and then you got to decide you want Jalen in your flex or Allen Robinson finally with a good matchup. To me, this is Jalen versus Allen Robinson versus Debo in your flex, and isn't Jalen the safe play?
100%.
Yes. Yeah, we love the PPR.
Mark Ingram and Jalen Samuels, dude, that feels sick. Rodney, good luck this week, man. Best
Carson or Coleman? Carson or Coleman? That's a tough question.
Good run defense there in Philly,
Chris Carson's been pretty matchup proof, though, right?
Yeah, and the goal line work goes to Carson.
I think you got to start Chris Carson over Tevin Coleman.
Gage or Singletary?
Singletary.
Geis or Scarborough?
Geis.
Okay, we'll let you go out on that one, Byron. Thank you so much. Get a pro membership at RosterWatch.com, the least expensive fantasy content in the industry. Byron, anything to say on the way out here as someone like myself is hoping for a playoff berth today?
Man, not a whole lot. Thanks, guys. Y'all have been doing a great job, and we'll talk soon. But yeah, it's time to go big or go home, RosterWatch Nation.
Happy Thanksgiving to come, my friend. We'll see you soon.
Happy holidays, Byron. See you later. See you next week.
So long, fellas.
Bye-bye.
All right, so let's finish these up here. Deep league, need a flex between Olsen and Renfro. 1 point PPR, currently playing Griffin in the tight end slot. So,
by the way, did you see the Jets sign Ryan Griffin to an extension?
Yeah,
I'm wondering what that means for our Chris Herndon shares.
Yes,
It means
yeah.
Ryan Griffin's good.
It means also that Ryan Griffin was cheap, probably.
Well, either way, he's going to be there. So
yeah. So what do we like? Do we like Renfro or do we like Olsen?
I like Renfro. He's been getting a lot of targets. He's been producing. We've got one from Jennifer, our second one here.
Okay, go ahead.
Just it's kind of high level. What do we think about Juju and Evan Ingram moving forward?
I don't.
I dropped Evan Ingram in a redraft.
Yeah, I'm almost close. I mean, I'm not going to drop Juju, which is tough, but
it's close though. You're borderlining dropping. I mean,
I had to drop David Johnson this week.
Me too. I dropped him 2 weeks ago. I said drop Evan Ingram. You cannot trust that guy. You cannot trust Evan Ingram the rest of the way.
It's so funny.
But
he's a shutdown candidate. They're done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was thinking too. It is more that, especially with a concussion. Yeah, it's like they don't need to rush him back. So why even try?
Barkley's on the ropes too. I'm just.
Steelers are 5-5. So really, I think it comes down to if they're going to be in the playoff hunt, which they're really not, right?
If they win this week, it might be a little different. But
the Steelers are in the playoff hunt.
They don't shut down Juju if they're in the playoff.
I don't think they shut him down. Though they might not play him, but I don't think they'll shut him down if they're in the hunt.
Right. Yeah. Correct. Juju is like a border. He's like a wide receiver 37, like right outside startable wide receivers. Probably.
But I would still take Juju over like a Hunter Renfro or any wide receiver 4 that you could be playing.
How about Juju? How about would you pick up Randall Cobb, who's had 3 straight 100-yard games, and then drop Juju?
No, because those are the only 3 straight 100-yard games that he's going to have all season, and he missed it already.
We'll see.
I mean, I had Cobb like 4 weeks before his 3 weeks, and then I had to just let him go, which is tough to start the guy. It's tough to say that it's going to be a Cobb week. Everybody says it's Cobb week, and then it's Cobb week, but then when it's there, you're like, okay, it's Cobb week, and then it's gone.
No, you're right. He's one of those type of guys.
Cameron Brate, OJ Howard. I like Brate. I love Brate. I've always liked Brate. They don't know how to use Howard. It's just not this. It's just the scheme. I don't know.
Please trade OJ Howard.
Yeah, if somebody's offering them a second-round pick, I'm thinking they'll take it.
I bet you it's a first. I bet you somebody out there is going to give up their late first. I mean, if the Seahawks did it, win a double tight end.
New England give up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one you want to do.
Yeah, but you would like to think that's the one you want to do, but they're also pretty notorious for kind of. I mean, Dwayne Allen is a good tight end that they haven't been able to get the ball when he was in there earlier.
He's okay.
Anyway. I mean, he's not OJ Howard, but I mean, whatever. Julio, think you are 7-4. Sutton or Marvin Jones? I love Sutton.
Dude,
I just love Sutton. Sutton's hard to sit Sutton.
Right.
Dude, Sutton is a top 10 dynasty startup wide receiver.
Yeah, I would agree there. But would you pick Chark over Sutton?
Right now, I'm still going Chark just because I like the QB better.
Yep, and the future QB better. And that to me is the issue a lot of the times when you're going with something like that. I've got Josh Jacobs in our Dynasty League. Thanks, Shane. And I've got everybody that wants him now. And it's like, hey, well, I overpaid for him. You're definitely going to overpay for him now.
Yep. Hey, throw Eric Arroyo's comment up on there because I've been ignoring him all week on purpose because he's in my league.
Kittle is looking like he's going to go. So where are you looking, Eric Arroyo?
Yeah. This is a guy in my league who's just crushing everybody's soul right now. This is Stomp Him in the Nuts team name, and I'm sick of him beating everybody up in this league. So lie to him when you answer this question, guys.
Okay, Slayton and Cooks. That's it, no. Eric. Go ahead.
I think it's Slayton or Shepard and Deontay Johnson or Brandon Cooks. I think they're 2 separate leagues, or are they the same league?
That's why I say Slayton and Cooks. That's what I said.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Slayton and Cooks.
I hope they both get zeros.
Well, that's why I said it. Just tricking you. No, go back to that here. I love Brandon Cooks. Rest of season, I do like him. I'm going to put him in there. Again, it's kind of that Juju conundrum where he's definitely better than your wide receiver 3. I think that if they can get him going, he's going to be a
of
better
course.
option than that. So I like
Well,
Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks has always been feast or famine, though. He's never, he's always 2 catches for 18 yards or 4 catches for 112 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's always been
the thing about Brandon Cooks is the fact that it was a concussion. It wasn't like a soft tissue injury. So when these guys are in, it's either you're in or you're out, right?
No, there's no doubt. I'm just saying.
And so for him, he's healthy. You got to play Brandon.
Right, but I'm just saying, even before that, though, he wasn't good.
Yeah, let's get Brett's.
I would argue that. But I mean, it would be an argument. Says I'm with you on it. Brett B needs major help. Have to win this week, or I'm out of the playoffs. Yes, I got a very similar situation. 1 point PPR. Mark Ingram, Tyler Boyd, Jalen Samuels. I can also sub out Kareem Hunt for Ingram or Samuels at my RB2, which that's a tough one because we went earlier that Mark Ingram over Jalen Samuels. Yep. So to me, it has to be Jalen Samuels or Kareem Hunt at your RB2. I think that's what it is, right? So it's reading this correctly.
Or Jalen Samuels, no? Or
I can sub out Kareem Hunt for Ingram or Samuels at my RB2. I want to okay. Well, Mark Ingram. Yeah, Mark Ingram has to be the play. Jalen Samuels could definitely. But he could. Here's the thing. I always look at how did Thursday's games go? Did you face DeAndre Hopkins? That's my conundrum. I'm even facing DeAndre Hopkins, and I went ahead and I had to put in Geis over a more middle tiered, probably a 12-pointer, just because, hey man, you could catch lightning in a bottle. If you need to catch lightning in a bottle, go Jalen Samuels. I think that's the
marking him the best bet though in general. Like he's just a major part of that offense, and that offense is clicking, man.
If you have an even line, yes, go Mark Ingram. But if you have to catch, there you go. Debo or Terry McLaurin rest of season. I like Debo. Although,
even with everybody coming back healthy, Emmanuel Sanders apparently back healthy. George Kittle apparently back. He broke a bone in his ankle or something like that, but he's playing. So.
Says this one for you. I like Debo rest of season. Shane likes McLaurin.
Yeah, well, the reason to like McLaurin is basically that they've said they're going to move him around the formation a little bit now, and they're really going to like the rest of the season for the Washington Redskins is just seeing what next year is going to look like. So I think that he's going to get force fed. That's a good reason to like McLaurin. Debo just looked like an absolute superstar. The best comparison I heard from him was Aquan Bolden, and obviously he just was in the better situation. But with all those pass catchers coming back, it's really 50-50. So I'm just going to bet on McLaurin based on he's going to get force fed the ball.
So I'll tell you why I don't go McLaurin is it's just exactly that type of game where Washington doesn't need to do this, and Terry McLaurin blows his ACL out, and now you lose out on next year. Where Debo's in the hunt. That team's in the hunt. Washington is not in the hunt. They're gone. They're done. Yeah, they're trying to play for confidence, but if they roll out Geis and he has another injury, good luck.
Yeah, I don't have a good argument why it either or, but if I'm gun to head, Debo looks like the better fantasy player right now, but I think there's some, I think there's a sneaky upside to McLaurin. Look, in the beginning of the year, he was a superstar. He's tailed off. We got the bad QB in there now, but I would take McLaurin, but I have no good argument against Debo.
Standard scoring, N'Keal Harry or Sterling Shepard. I like Shepard. Just can't trust N'Keal Harry, although he might get it. Half-point PPR, Kittle or Goddard. That's a tough one. A lot of people are not playing Kittle this week, especially if they have a Goddard. So, Shane, what do you think? You like Goddard here? Or?
I think Kittle's the better option here. Zach Ertz is still the king in that offense, and if he's going to play tonight, George Kittle.
Well, don't you think that Seattle might? Seattle is notoriously bad against the tight end, but if you had to key on anything in that offense, because all of those guys are out, you would think it'd be Ertz leaving the door wide open for Goddard. That's a tough one. Says be the deciding factor. I like Goddard over Kittle this week.
If Kittle's playing, he's presumably healthy. He's the best tight end in football. You play him.
Okay, there you go. Brett B. Again, so I am part of the RosterWatch Nation, so I get 2 questions.
And we only have 30 seconds left, guys.
Yes, Crowder. No, we have a minute 30. We have Crowder, DK Metcalf, Emmanuel Sanders, or Catch TMC. I like Crowder. So
Sure.
What do you think? Crowder?
Crowder's been on fire, man. That guy.
Roster Watch Nation got a flex question. Full point PPR: Ronald Jones, James Washington, or Geis?
Guiche.
Guiche, Mark Andrews, or Darren Waller?
Waller's tight end 1 on the week.
Okay, I'll go with that. I like that. Flex Network and Roster Watch. Best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. Yes. Chico's bail bonds, full point PPR. Cortland Sutton, Jalen Samuels. I like Samuels too. What do you think, Says?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be the lead running back with the PPR floor. Absolutely.
Pro member Jennifer Olstead, currently 7-4, been on a slide. Oh no, streaming Detroit's defense or Cleveland's. Gets bonus points for 14 or under in scoring.
This is a Cleveland defense. They're one of my top 3 defenses of the week. Even without Myles Garrett, they're just going to crush that offensive line of Miami and make Ryan Fitzpatrick wish he never got up in the morning.
Okay, B. Ollie, Kittle, or Andrews. Last question, hurry.
I mean, George Kittle is the man, right?
Kittle, giddy up.
I'm going to go Andrews. This
Fair
is
enough.
the Flex Network. We will see you next week. Flex!
Flex on them.